Yes, guys, you saw it in the title. I'm doing the mid-year review because we are already in July, which means that half of the year is already gone. I don't know where it's gone. I am as astonished as you are. 皆さんこんにちは、アリーです。Hi everyone, my name is Ali. Welcome or welcome back to the channel. Today we are doing my June study recap. Since we are already in July and I have been doing these study recaps every month since the start of the year, it means that you guys have 5 videos already out on the channel recapping my language study for each of the months from January to May. So if you guys haven't watched those videos, please go and watch them if you're interested, since I will not repeat some of the details that I may have given you guys in those videos. What I will repeat, however, today are my revised goals for the year. Since I'm doing the mid-year review, of course, I will be repeating what my goals are and whether I am on track with them. But first, let's start with my monthly goals. I had 3 goals for the month of June. The first one was to make significant progress with my Japanese, since I realized that I was not making enough efforts, and I've been telling you guys repeatedly about this for basically the whole first part of the year. I was focusing a lot on Chinese and Russian and not enough on Japanese to my taste, so I made sure that for the month of June I rebalanced everything in my studying and that I spent at least 70% of my time, my language study time, of course, on Japanese and less time on Chinese and Russian, since this would be matching my own prioritization order, right? So I did make significant progress with Japanese in June. The one thing that I can highlight and that really helped me make significant progress was the essay writing practice I've been doing, and especially in June because I've been doing it since the beginning of the year, but on and off, sporadically, also because until now I didn't find a good way to actually practice my essay writing skills. Now that I've developed a good method for myself and I've been trying it out for the whole month of June, I can really tell you that this is making me progress very fast. And we will actually talk about this very specific topic, in a future video on the channel, so I won't expand on it today. My second goal for the month of June was to move to HSK 3 level in Chinese, which I did, in the sense that I graduated myself from HSK 2 level. I've gone through 6 mock exams in total of HSK 2, and I have filmed the whole process actually, and will go out on the channel in a vlog very soon. You will be able to see this whole process, how it played out and what were my results. But I was able to graduate myself and move on to HSK 3 level because I've started a new resource now in July, which is an HSK 3 level textbook. So this is also a completed goal. And finally, my last goal was to not forget to do my mid-year review, which I am doing with you guys today. So like I mentioned earlier, since today is a bit of a different kind of recap since I'm doing the mid-year review, I will not keep the same exact structure for my language by language recap, just because I will go through my recap this time through the prism of my revised goals for the year and telling you for each goal what I've been doing and also whether I think I am on track for completing those yearly goals for each language. So now let's start on the language by language recaps, and we always start with Japanese. For Japanese, I have 4 revised goals, if you guys recall. The first one is to get to university level. I think I am on good track with that, even though it is taking me a long time, and for good reason, because this is quite a broad goal of mine actually. Between all of my languages and all of my language goals for the year, this is probably the largest one. So this is because it includes kind of everything, a whole range of things, a whole range of language skills, starting with general vocabulary improvement, then an improvement of my expression skills both in written form and orally, bringing them to academic level, essentially, which they are not at the moment. I also need to, of course, understand the language when it's used in an academic format and an academic setting. So my comprehension levels also need to improve. And overall, I just need to practice what is asked of Japanese students when they are at uni. So that goes through essay writing skills, but also project presentation skills in general, which again, I'm not confident about right now because I lack practice, of course. I have never been part of the Japanese education system at any level. So essentially, I'm starting from scratch and I'm doing everything by myself, this whole practice. But my goal with that would be to essentially bring myself to the same level as the level of a Japanese student, to potentially be able to go to university here and attend a program entirely in Japanese without any issue. So that's the main goal here. So what I've been doing since the beginning of the year is to focus on that first aspect of general vocabulary improvement. And I was focusing on improving my kanji skills in particular, which is obviously linked to vocabulary improvement as well, through the use of the Shinkansen Master for N1 kanji, which was very useful. And since actually at the beginning of June, I have finished this textbook and I moved on to a new resource for my general vocab improvement, and this time meant for Japanese natives and specifically Japanese adults who want to expand their vocabulary. This is the exercise book 解きながら身につける大人の語彙力. I've been loving using this exercise book for the month of June, and it has been a great help in my overall goal of vocabulary improvement. So that has been going pretty well and I'm actually almost done with it. Another thing I've been doing for my general vocab improvement has been to reuse the Power Doriru for N1 vocab. So this is a prep book which I used 1 year ago, last year, before sitting the N1 exam, and I actually intentionally kept it for future use. Even though I've gone through it entirely last year before sitting the exam, I knew that I would want to reuse it in the future, and here we are. I'm reusing it at the moment. I'm going through it very slowly just to see whether or not I improved since last year, and also to keep this practice going, this habit rolling, the habit of doing vocab quizzes and advanced vocab quizzes in particular. Finally, the last thing I've been focusing on towards my goal of getting to a university level has been to write essays, which I've been correcting on my own every single week. This has been a great practice, and like I said, I will talk about this in detail in a future video. So overall, I think I am on track with that first goal for Japanese. However, it is of course taking me a long time. The second goal I have for Japanese is to bring my kanji level to Kente Gokyu level, so the level 5 of the Kanji Kente exam, which I think I am on track with. However, I will need to go back to it later during the year once I feel more comfortable with my overall vocab improvement and overall expression skills improvement as well. So we will see when I go back to this, but essentially, the work I've been doing through the Shinkansen Master for N1 Kanji at the beginning of this year, of course, helped getting me closer to this level anyway. Now, in any case, I will need to use a specific resource meant for this exam, in particular the Kanji Kente, once I can get to them, and then I'll be able to actively prepare for that exam. The third goal I have with my Japanese this year is to improve my expression skills overall, not specifically for academic level only, just at any language level. So whether it be casual or formal or academic or even business level, I just need to improve my skills overall. And how I've been doing it is, essentially making more efforts when I speak, for example, with my husband or with other people. Just make more efforts to speak correctly, to make sure that my grammar is correct, that I use the right words at the right time, that I use the vocab that I'm practicing through all of my vocab exercises. I'm just making a conscious effort to improve my expression skills by myself. So that's one thing I've been doing through my day-to-day use of the language. But then in terms of writing skills, we go back to my essay writing practice, which again has been helping me across the board, my expression skills in general for any language level. And finally, for Japanese, I have one more goal, which is actually a bonus goal, and it is to get to the Business Japanese Tests J1 level. So the BJT, a specific test for non-native Japanese speakers to assess their business language skills in Japanese. I sat and passed it back in 2021 in September, and back then I got a J2 level, which is already very good, but I want to upgrade this. So before the end of the year, if I can get to it, I will go and sit the exam again and try and reach for the J1 level this time. How I've been taking steps towards this right now is not by actively studying with resources meant for the BJT. However, I'm practicing my Keigo skills in general through my everyday use of the language and also via my 大人の語彙力 exercise book, because there is a whole chapter dedicated to Keigo, in fact. So Keigo being the Japanese polite language, which has its own rules and its own structures, and which you need to definitely practice a lot before you can get comfortable with it. So essentially I'm just maintaining my level there because I already have, I would say, quite a good level. However, I still need to, of course, get so comfortable that I don't think about it anymore. So that's the overall goal. And that will definitely bring me to a good level at the BJT as well, if I can reach that. So I think we're done with Japanese. Let's go to Mandarin Chinese. For Mandarin Chinese, I have 4 goals this year, one of which is a bonus goal, and the first one of which is to get to HSK 3 level. I am on very good track with this goal since I've already graduated myself from HSK 2 level, and I have started using an HSK 3 level textbook to start studying for it. And also, my motivation levels are quite high for Mandarin Chinese because I want to become autonomous with this language before the end of the year. With regards to the active studying I've been doing, to get myself to these goals, so we have 3 things. First of all, I finished the textbook I started last month, 基礎から学べる初めての中国語文法, which was a Japanese language grammar textbook for Mandarin Chinese. It was a great textbook. I absolutely loved it. I gave it a very good score in my review. Went through it like a breeze, really helped me with my expression skills, in fact, in Chinese, and overall helped me to consolidate my knowledge, so this was absolutely great. Then, like I said earlier, I did go through 6 HSK2 mock exams in total, so that of course has helped me progress with my language skills in Mandarin Chinese. And then lastly, I have just started a new textbook, the Corning HSK 3 textbook, and I can already see that this textbook is really going to help me bring my level up to HSK 3 level. Right, the second goal I have with Mandarin Chinese this year is to read 2 books. I am also on good track for completing this goal this year since I am already halfway reading my first book, 中国語でちょっといい話. So this is a bilingual book in both Chinese and Japanese. It is essentially a collection of short stories which are not particularly simplified and which are meant for actually HSK 3 level. So I'm already going through a book that helps me with my reading comprehension skills quite a lot. And on top of that, I'm also actively using the Chinese still. I'm learning new words through it. I'm also really consolidating my knowledge of sentence structure. Do Chinese is essentially helping me get reading volume a lot. So I can read extensively on Do Chinese and more intensively on my 中国語でちょっといい話 book on the side. So the combination of the two has been absolutely great. Regarding my third goal, which is to improve my Hanzi level, Hanzi meaning the ideogram characters used in Mandarin Chinese. So regarding Hanzi writing, at the beginning of the year I've used the Kantaiji Doriru book, and right now it is on the hiatus just because I don't really want to focus on it at the minute. I will go back to it hopefully before the end of the year. However, even though I haven't been using it for the past few months, just going through HSK 2 level and now starting to study for HSK 3 level, whenever I need to write through this studying, whenever I need to write sentences on my own in Chinese, essentially to answer exercise questions, so prompt questions, I can feel myself myself getting more and more comfortable with writing Hanzi characters, and I'm not confusing Hanzi and kanji that much anymore, so I guess my level in Hanzi is already improving, which I'm very happy about. Now, regarding Hanzi reading, there I am getting very, very comfortable now. Through the reading immersion I've been doing, there's no secret here. So on Do Chinese, one thing I've done is that as soon as I got comfortable, I removed the majority of the pinyin on the characters, the pinyin, so the character readings. And in any case, I know that before reaching HSK 3 level, I will need to be able to read without pinyin any text up to that level, because there are no pinyin on the characters at the HSK 3 exam anyway, so I need to get there. Finally, my last goal is to start conversation practice in Chinese, and this is a bonus goal. And the listening immersion practice I've been doing combined with some shadowing, which I've been doing during my listening immersion practice, and also, of course, all the active studying I've been doing for HSK 2 and now HSK 3 levels have been gradually helping me reaching that specific level, so essentially speaking level, because at the moment I'm not even talking about conversation in Chinese, just speaking in Chinese, and doing my first very own sentences is the first step I must get to. And to get there, I definitely need more sentence structure knowledge and also vocab knowledge, so I'm gradually getting there, but at the same time, I'm not quite there yet. However, I do think that I'm still on track with it. Alright, so that's it for Mandarin Chinese. Now let's go to Russian. For my Russian recap, for this year in Russian, I actually have 3 goals only. The first one is to bring myself to a B1 level. I need to tell you guys that, Russian is my third priority language this year, so it is not my primary focus. And since I have been focusing more and more, like I explained at the beginning of this video, on my 2 other languages, and especially more on Japanese, I've been slowing down my active studying of Russian in June. So I have not studied new things with the Asimil textbook for a few weeks now, and I've only been doing audio transcripts, in fact, of the first lesson audio from the Asimil textbook. So essentially, this is helping me to practice my comprehension skills and also writing skills, because I'm focusing on spelling in Russian, which is quite hard, and also, of course, still my Cyrillic cursive handwriting. I'm guessing that I will come back to studying new things with the Asimil textbook either this month in July or in August, and my intention is overall to go back to the Asimil textbook lessons. So from I have 30 lessons left. I'm at lesson 71, I believe. So there are 100 lessons in this particular Asimil textbook. So I definitely have the intention of finishing the textbook before the end of the year. However, I've just been focusing more on the audio transcripts for the past few weeks. The second thing I've been doing in June was to keep going with my listening immersion practice. So I'm just watching a handful of videos every week, and I've been gradually understanding more and more of what I hear. So that's also a good thing, a good point, I think. However, having said all of this, I'm not sure whether B1 is actually feasible for this year, especially since I can't focus only on this language. If I could focus only on Russian, maybe I could reach B1 level, but in all honesty, even after finishing the Asimil textbook, I'm not sure the Asimil textbook will be enough to bring me to this level. So I'm not sure whether this is feasible, and I'm even considering putting Russian on the back burner towards the end of this year to again focus a bit more on Japanese first and Chinese second. So we will see what actually happens. I'm really only studying Russian for fun at this point, so I don't want to put pressure on myself. The second goal I have with Russian this year is to improve my Cyrillic cursive handwriting. We always go back to this, but it's always a goal of mine because I want it to be, first of all, correct, correctly written, and also beautiful. I do have this goal of writing beautifully in Russian, so that's definitely something that I'm working towards. I'm getting more and more comfortable with that. You guys tell me also in the comments often that my Cyrillic handwriting is actually pretty, so I'm very happy about that. Thank you so much. That's my goal. I'm happy to see that you guys are noticing it. And in any case, how I've been working towards this is again via doing my audio transcripts, which I just mentioned. So I think I'm on good track with that too. And finally, my last goal with Russian this year, and which is a bonus goal also, is to read a book. And we'll see if I can actually achieve that before the end of the year. But I really want to. I think that it is possible. I want to prioritize it because that will bring me a lot of joy, and that is a very important element in my language learning process. Alright, so guys, on that note, that will be it for today. I hope you enjoyed today's recap. If you have any questions, please leave them down below. As usual, if you want to tell me what you have been up to with your language learning during the month of June, please let me know in the comments. I always read your comments with joy. If you want me to answer anything specific, also leave that down below. And as for me, I will see you next month for my July recap, and otherwise I will see you in my next video on the channel. Thank you for watching, and bye bye! Mata ne! As usual, she has been waiting for me. Look at this cutie. Tiens. Bonjour mon cœur. Hello mon baby. Oh.